Yo, ho, Dom Mafia and AFC East Roundtable fans. Welcome to yet another edition of the AFC East Roundtable. Today's edition, you are just going to be watching me gloat on the Bills for this exact 60 minutes. No one came. I fired everybody. It's my channel now. The AFC East Roundtable is me just shitting on every other fan base. I'm kidding. Okay. Welcome. We do have a new staff today, though. I will tell you what, a couple of fan favorites are gone, but we have some great gentlemen joining us today, filling in for TD Finn's talk. Okay, my boy Steven. I found his YouTube channel about 2 or 3 days ago, as a matter of fact, when TD was saying, hey, it's funny because about like 30 people dropped off the stream when I was fucking around and saying that this is exclusively going to be me just talking about the Bills. We'll be back. They'll be back. I was obviously fucking around. Steven,
what's up, bro?
What's going on, man?
Hey, man, thank you for having me on. Shout out to TD. TD's under the weather, but I appreciate him offering me the opportunity to be with you three fine gentlemen this evening and get to talk trash for an hour. I'm all about that. So I'm excited to be here with you guys.
Beautiful. I'm very excited to explore this dynamic, that is for sure. And Master at Work Tyson was unable to join us today, and instead we have our good buddy Ray. What's going on, Ray?
Gentlemen, how's it going? Thanks for having me back. I bring the same intensity as Tyson, so no. If you're all here for the shit talking, I apologize in advance. That's all I can say.
Beautiful. We're talking a little bit of football today. You know, I mean, like we might have. Listen, one of us needs to step up and have some type of delusion, okay? I mean, we're missing TD.
I'll do it. No, I got you, bro. I'm here.
I did see your video when you said that the Dolphins were for show making the playoffs.
For show
making the playoffs. So, okay. So maybe it's suitable. And then last but not least, Jets fan favorite, Richie, NY Jets Media. What's going on, brother?
What's up, fellas? Dan, the people subbing in for Master at Work and TD. I appreciate you guys joining in. I'm excited to talk some Jets. I'm excited to talk some AFC East. I told Dan before the stream that we don't really have to recap the Jets and Bills game. There's not that much to talk about, so we're just going to go over that a little bit. But, guys, shout out to everybody in the chat. Welcome in. I'm happy to be on here once again with you guys. Once a week, I look forward to this. Even when the Jets lose, I'm like, all right, can't wait for the AFC East Roundtable to talk to everybody and see what's going on in the chat. So shout out to everybody, and hope you guys are having a good night and enjoy.
That is a beautiful thing. All right, so AFC East Roundtable audience, today we are having a pretty solid chat about not only what happened this previous week, which has been fucking crazy in the NFL. First off, I mean, I just kind of want everyone to chime in on this. I hate to be that guy saying that, yo, the NFL is rigged, but I will say, how many years have we had this many crazy fucking upsets in like a 2-week period? How many?
It's been a long time. It's been a long time.
I wish there was one more though. Wish there was just one more in there.
I just got asked today what's going on with the AFC just in general. You know what I mean? Like with everything we predicted. And I don't know how many upsets there are. I just wonder how much we over-evaluated teams going into this season, because I started going through a list, and I remember us sitting here in this round table like in fucking May, and we were talking about how strong the AFC was going to be, like compared to the NFC, the parity in the AFC. All right, the Chiefs are underperforming. I would say the Bills are underperforming to a certain extent. However, we talked about the Ravens. We talked about the Browns, the Steelers, the Colts. I completely over-evaluated what the Colts. I thought they were going to win the South. I thought they were going to be this powerhouse. Completely over-evaluated what they are as a team and a franchise. I under-evaluated what the Titans were going to be this season. I over-evaluated what the freaking Raiders were going to be, the Broncos, the Chiefs. Like, I just think we over the Dolphins for a part. I mean, I didn't expect the Dolphins to be this bad. I thought they were going to take another step.
That makes two of us, bro.
No, dude. I mean, going into the season, I was like almost convinced. I never told TD this for obvious reasons, but I mean, I saw the Dolphins like being in second. Like, I mean, I saw y'all being where the Patriots are right now.
The only team.
The Patriots were fucking crazily underrated. Ray, even you underrated the Pats this year. They're looking.
Bro, I had the Patriots. I humbly sit here saying I had the Patriots winning 8 to 9 games this season. I said, listen, though, I'm going to defend myself a little bit. And I have receipts if anybody needs them. I expected not the way it's happened the last 4 weeks, but I expected the Patriots at about this time to start showing who they are. You know what I mean? And I expected them to start, and I've said that over and over. However, I thought 6-4 at this point of the season was going to have them like in 10th place. You know what I mean? Like I thought it was going to be too little too late. The AFC not producing has also helped the Patriots to an extent of being relevant. And now because of that, even if everybody else starts coming together, the Patriots are rolling too. And the record, I mean, they're in the playoffs right now. The only team that has lived up to expectations is the Jets. You know, they're the only team that lived up to the expectations I put on them. Richie, I told you 5 games, and there's still a couple more games you can win in there if Flacco can come alive for you.
Richie, I do want to make that a topic on today's show.
Of course.
That you're starting fucking Flacco. Is Zach Wilson even available to play right now?
No, he's not ready to go, which is why Joe Flacco's out there. So the philosophy behind this, the Joe Flacco news, I woke up to it. I was like, whoa, okay, Joe Flacco's the quarterback for this week. And a lot of people are quick to assume that Zach Wilson's healthy and they're benching him and they want to go with the veteran instead. But the reason is you saw what the Miami Dolphins did last week against Lamar Jackson with that crazy defense. And obviously the Miami Dolphins have underperformed this year and they are not getting off to the start that Miami Dolphins fans hope for. But their defense is getting healthy and Brian Flores is a damn good defensive coach. And you saw what happens when everything clicks defensively with that system on Thursday Night Football against Lamar Jackson. So what the Jets did by instead of giving it to Mike White, who struggled against the number 1 defense in the NFL in the Buffalo Bills. They said, okay, we have Joe Flacco, who's seen it all. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. He's not going to get super confused by the blitz looks like a guy like Mike White would. So I think the reason by giving Joe Flacco the nod over Mike White is simply just for that reason, because Joe Flacco's been in the league. He's seen all these crazy looks. He's been to the playoffs. It's not like Joe Flacco is going to go out there and, elevate the offense around him. But I feel like the Jets just have more confidence in Joe Flacco keeping the playmakers involved, because that's what the season's all about for the Jets right now, especially at this point in the year. Now that our rookie quarterback's injured, it's all about developing the offense around the quarterback, the playmakers, the running backs, the offensive line, the system, the play caller, Mike LaFleur. That's what it's all about. So the Jets feel like a veteran quarterback like Joe Flacco, and Jets fans are very familiar with him because he was the backup quarterback for us last year. When he came in for Sam, the one thing I always love about Flacco was he gave the ball to the young receivers and let them go to work. And that's what I'm expecting from Joe Flacco. I really hope he force feeds Elijah Moore the ball and make sure that Michael Carter gets involved and just make sure that this offense can take some strides. And this is also a really good thing for Zach Wilson because as a rookie quarterback, he gets to watch film of Mike White when he was doing really good against the Bengals. He saw even Josh Johnson. And now we get to see Joe Flacco go out there. And now he gets to watch all these different veteran quarterbacks go into the system and hopefully succeed. And he gets a really good understanding. And the mental ability for this quarterback position, I think, is way more important than anything else. I think we can all agree that Zach Wilson has really good arm talent. But the one thing that he's been problem with so far is his mind, not making the right decisions and all that type of stuff. So I feel like him sitting back and being able to watch a guy like Joe Flacco and all these quarterbacks is going to go a long way. And I was disappointed in the news at first, but then when I got to digest it and understand the Jets' perspective of it, I definitely understand why they made that move.
Richie, can I ask you a question?
Of course.
I think it was 2 weeks ago, Saleh came out and he was talking about Mike White. And he said when Mike White is on the field, he operates the offense the way the offense should look. Like it looks like an offense when he's on the field, which it's a little bit of a backhand to Zach Wilson, right? Because obviously, are you concerned at all with Wilson? Like I know I've heard the Peyton Manning comparisons and I've heard the rationalization, but I get he's a rookie, but he makes a lot of bad decisions, right?
Yeah, absolutely, he does. And at this point in the season, he has 4 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. That's just totally inexcusable. I think it's a little too premature for me personally to write him off, but there's no sugarcoating it that he needs to play better. And I think that what you saw from Mike White is he played within the system. And that's what Robert Saleh was alluding to, because what Zach Wilson tries to do is he's an off-schedule type of quarterback. He's a flashy guy. He does better when the play breaks down. When Mike White, he does better when it's in the pocket, within, and it's timing routes. Zach Wilson, if you look at the game against the Titans that he won Offensive Rookie of the Week. He single-handedly brought us back in that game to win because he had those crazy off-schedule 60-yard bombs, and Zach Wilson has to realize that you cannot live with those in the NFL every single week. You need to be able to be a pocket quarterback. You need to be able to have the timing routes. And that's something that Zach needs to learn. And I feel like he's kind of developing backwards, where he has that elite arm strength, that elite arm talent, where he can make the off-platform throws, which is really good, but you're not going to be able to be a franchise quarterback if you're not able to do the simple things by making the easy layups, by, 3-step drop back, hitch ball out on time to your receiver. And I feel like Zach needs to work on that. I'm not going to say I'm concerned until I get to see him back out there and see what he does to finish the rest of his rookie season. I think that's a better question for after the year, when his rookie season's all wrapped up, after he comes back healthy, after he was able to sit back and watch and then see what he can do at the end of the year. So definitely has a lot of things to work on. He looks like, a rookie quarterback that's going through the ebbs and flows right now. I'm just hopeful that he can go out there and finish strong.
Would it be fair to say to possibly just sit him the rest of the year and let him learn how to be a quarterback? Or
I think,
do you run the risk of screwing him up? I guess what I'd ask if you throw him back out there.
I think that he's got enough time off right now. I think this knee injury, he's getting an extra week. His knee's not 100% right now, so they're playing it slow. They do not want to rush him out there. I think that it would be a mistake to bench him for the rest of the year, because I feel like, rookie quarterbacks sometimes get a lot of use out of sitting back for a couple of games and, taking a deep breath, taking the mental reps and going over with your play caller, watching film of the offense succeeding and what it takes to do that, because that's what Zach's problem was. He would always try to force it downfield instead of checking it down to the running backs, and now what this offense is all about. So I think it would be a mistake if you bench Zach Wilson for the rest of the season. I think he needs to play.
Well, I have to say that I was really disappointed that Joe Flacco was starting Sunday, because, first of all, I'm going up to the game, so I'm going to be there. I will be at the MetLife Takeover. Shout out to Dolphins NYC Fan Club in New York City, putting together what they do every year. Big get-together called the MetLife Takeover, and we always take over up there in the Meadowlands, so I'm super excited about that. But last Friday, I was down in Miami, and we had Mike White's dad on. And Mike White's dad, real cool guy. Shout out to him. He's a Dolphins fan, just so y'all know. He's a Dolphins fan. His son is the quarterback of the Jets. He's a Dolphins fan. But look, real talk, man. What I will say to you is I live up here in the Baltimore area. So I've seen Flacco at his best, and I've seen Flacco at his worst. And I will tell you, at the end of the day, it's going to be a long game for you, man, on Sunday. It's going to be a long game for you on Sunday. Like, the defense, what they did to Lamar Jackson, they're going to make Joe Flacco just look horrible on Sunday, bro. And that's really, it's going to be a fun game for Dolphins fans. It's going to be a long game. But to go to your point, what I will say is they should let Zach Wilson play. If he can play, let him get the reps. Let him make the mistakes. Let him get in there and see what the NFL defense is like from all sides. And I would say at the end of the day, bro, like, Zach Wilson should be playing as much and as often as possible.
I agree.
All right.
Damn.
Yeah, Jack comes in and says that it looks like I need to take a dump. Okay? I do, as a matter of fact. But you know what? The show must go on, baby.
Fantastic insight.
Exactly. So, I mean, I definitely want to get to, the past week's games, because there's certainly a lot to talk about from each and every single team's perspective. But last thing I'll say, I feel like not starting Mike White against the Dolphins on Sunday is a mistake. I mean, we saw what he could do against a mediocre defense, and he just ended up going up against the number one defense in the entire NFL.
Nobody's played good against Buffalo. Nobody has played good against Buffalo.
I feel like that. And so, I mean, honestly, I mean, I know that I'm not meant to run an NFL organization. These guys know a lot more than I fucking do. But from an objective standpoint, I feel like Mike White, benching him after going up against the fucking best defense in the NFL, I mean, I think that's a mistake, man, honestly, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's
okay about that, but
no, yeah, I think that's a heated debate. I think that a lot of Jets fans are upset about it, and I understand both sides of the coin of this. It's one of those things where it's like you give Mike White an opportunity, he deserves an extra start. You give him the nod on Thursday Night Football, he gets injured. You give him another opportunity against the Buffalo Bills. He goes out there and did what he did. And it's just crazy because all of a sudden the Jets have a really insane quarterback room just in terms of depth. Like, we even have Josh Johnson, who threw for 300 yards.
That's crazy.
on prime time. So we have 4 quarterbacks on this roster right now. So, as a Jets fan, I'm just trying to, sit back and trust the regime, whether it's a mistake or not. That'll play out.
Do you like Saleh? Do you like Saleh? Do you trust him?
I do. I trust Robert Saleh. I know that he's going through a lot right now. I know that his defense is getting worked right now. The injuries are catching up to him, but there is a point where, they have to show heart. They have to show intensity. They have to show the ability to overcome those injuries because the beginning of the year, the defense was absolutely phenomenal, exceeding all of our expectations. And now they can't stop anybody. And I'm really curious to see what we can do against the Dolphins, because I feel like this is a good opportunity for the defensive line to get back to what their dominant ways are supposed to be against a suspect Dolphins O-line. So, just like Wilson, I'm not going to quickly write off Wilson like I'm going to quickly write off Saleh too prematurely, only halfway through the year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're definitely going to get back to the Jets because we need to talk about last week. But, however, a couple of shocking wins. I mean, besides the Buffalo Bills and the Jets, the Miami Dolphins pulled off a fucking shocker, and the Patriots just beat the ever-living fuck out of the Cleveland Browns this past week. So, I mean, we have a lot to talk about from there. Steven, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pass it along to you, man. Just take it away.
So I was in Miami for the last 9 days up until this past Saturday. I was there for the Texans game and I was there for the Ravens game. And it was a lot of fun. It was a great 9 days. I had a feeling we were going to pull off the one against Houston. It was an ugly game, but we did. But I have to be perfectly honest and said I had no idea, nor did I think even for a second that we were beating Baltimore. Like I didn't see it coming. I was like, bro, if it's going to take a miracle for us to win. Not only did we win, we dominated. We straight dominated. The defense just looked amazing. There were blitzes, Javon Holland, who, by the way, I think is one of the best people in the draft, is starting to look like he should be up for defensive rookie of the year. Like, he's that good. He's a really good kid. And Jalen Phillips and Emmanuel Ogbah, just Lamar Jackson could not get anything done. He was frustrated on the sidelines. And so you look at that at the end of the day, the Miami Dolphins played the best game they played on defense easily in the last 2 years. The only game that might be the exception was the Rams game we played last year. But, the defense just looks absolutely amazing. We started Jacoby Brissett, which I was not a big fan of us starting Jacoby over Tua. Tua had a broken finger. But what I will say is the whole game, I'm like, I need Tua to come in, because if Tua comes in, it's going to change the game. And that's what happened. Tua came in after Brissett went down with the knee injury, and the entire offense just kind of clicked differently. And so, look, the Miami Dolphins had a very solid win on prime time against the team that they struggle against. If you go back and look at the last 3 games before this one, Dolphins have lost like 40-0, 45-13, 52-10. We just don't play well against Baltimore. And so to see us dominate Lamar Jackson in that offense was absolutely great. And so, yeah, man, like, they look good. And I couldn't believe how good they looked on Thursday night. And I have to admit, it's got me pumped, man. It's got me pumped going into the last 9 weeks of the year. I think the Dolphins could do it, baby. Go on a run. We're 3-7.
Oh, no. That was gonna be my follow-up question. Especially since Tyson ended up doing you dirty on Instagram.
That's all right. Master at Work is my boy. I liked it. Hey, look, check it out. We got 2 against New York. We got 2 against the Jets. We got 1 against Carolina. I'm not scared of Cam Newton after the Lamar Jackson game. Right? And then we got the Giants. Those are our next 4 games in the next 5 weeks.
You don't have to be scared of Cam Newton, but I'd be scared of Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Did you see us stop the run against Baltimore?
All right.
Hold on. Who did you stop against Baltimore? Which running back?
We stopped everything against Baltimore,
which
running back?
Running back? No, answer my question. Which running back in Baltimore compares
Lamar Jackson? Lamar Jackson.
That's a quarterback. Which
I
running back who can?
I understand, but he is their run game, bro. He is their run game. And we stopped him.
We got to stop Cam and CMC. This is the problem with Dolphin fans. Like, you guys dismiss guys like Christian McCaffrey like they're nobodies.
I didn't say that Christian McCaffrey was a nobody. I'm just saying we're going to stop the run.
Oh man. All right. Anyway, okay. Final question here, Steven. Okay. So I mean, that video highlighted a very controversial take. It said that you guarantee the Dolphins are going on a playoff run.
No,
Please
I said.
expand on that. Do you still think it's going to happen?
100% I do. Here's what I said.
What
I said the
are
Dolphins.
you? What?
I said the Dolphins
He's the
get in at
perfect
10.
TD replacement.
Listen to me, bruh. Hey, the Dolphins get in at 10-7. They get in the playoffs. They're in at the 6 or 7 seed at 10-7 because all these teams in the AFC are beating each other up. Nobody's running away with it. It's the first time in the NFL since like 2006 that every team in the NFL this week has 2 losses, a minimum in the NFL. So nobody's taking, like I'm telling you, we have the second easiest schedule left. So if we get through the next 5 weeks against these four games in the next 5 weeks, then our last 3 games are at New Orleans on Monday Night Football.
Okay.
Not scared of them. At Tennessee, hello, we've already had Ryan Tannehill. We know his number. And then we get to play Whack Jones in Miami. So I'm all about that. So, hey, man, 10 wins, bro. We're about to go on a win streak. We're about to run the table. And I'm gonna come back up here on the AFC East Roundtable, and y'all gonna be like, Steven, how did you know that, man? Because I'm a guru, my guy. I got this.
Well, I feel like my buddy Ray probably has some opposing takes right there because his team had a fucking shocking. Well, I mean, not shocking, but I thought you guys were gonna win from the jump, but by that margin, no way in hell. In fact, I saw a stat, and you could even talk about it. Wasn't it the past 5 games that the Pats have beat their opponents by 25 plus points?
The Patriots have the last 4 games. The Patriots have outscored their opponents 150-50. That's been the difference in scoring.
Fucking insane.
The Patriots are now becoming the team that we thought we were going to see early in the season, right? And you think about. And never mind. I hate the Patriot fans are like the would have, should have, could have. You know what I mean? But I think that if they don't make the playoffs, that's when I'll just shake my head. You think about the Miami game, the Damian Harris fumble. You think about the decision to try to kick a 56-yard field goal in the rain against Tampa Bay rather than go for it on 4th and 1. You think about a couple of decisions. The Dallas game that goes to overtime. You pull off 1 of those 3 wins or 2 of those 3 wins, it's a different team. However, they weren't good then. They looked awful against Miami. I was embarrassed after that game. I forget even what Miami did. I was embarrassed just by their performance. It was the defense looked suspect. The defense looked awful. It's the time of the year now though where the stats are now skewed when you compare the last 4 games compared to the first 6. However, they're stopping the run now. They've knocked 2 quarterbacks out, by the way, in the last 4 weeks too. They knocked out Baker Mayfield and they knocked out Zach Wilson, right? They've knocked 2. They're getting to the quarterback. Matt Judon
thanks for that.
You're welcome. Matt Judon
should have been roughing the passer twice.
That Judon was not a roughing the passer.
The one before was ridiculous.
Yeah, well, don't hold on every play, or maybe the referees can throw a flag. Judon's got 9.5 sacks on the year. But I mean, the free agents are coming through, but what we're seeing is, and this is where the rest of the NFL screwed up. So before going into the draft, we were having a lot of conversations about quarterbacks, obviously. Who are the Patriots going to take? I got to this point, though, okay, if the Patriots don't get their quarterback, because we assume that the quarterbacks were going to go in the top 10, they weren't going to get down to New England. I said with the 15th pick, by no means necessary, if you don't have your quarterback, you should be taking Christian Barmore. That should be the Patriots pick. He's the best defensive tackle in the draft, coming out of Alabama. That's got to be the guy. The Patriots got Mac Jones at 15, and they got Christian Barmore at 38. I wanted them to take Barmore at 15. I didn't think there was no way he's going to second round. 28 quarterback pressures from our rookie defensive lineman. He's the kid I'm going for. But what we're seeing from the Patriots this year now, outstanding defense, outstanding running, and good quarterback play. We don't need great quarterback play with this team. We need Mac Jones. If people want to laugh and be like, oh, the check down king. We won 6 Super Bowls with a check down king. I really don't care. You know what I mean? Those rings, I don't look at those rings and go, God damn, those were check downs. They wasn't throwing sidearms and left-handed and running around the field like a maniac. It's what we're starting to see, though. The Patriots look like the team we thought they were going to be all year. However, did I think they're going to blow out the the friggin' Browns? No, but the same way I look at the Miami game against Baltimore, I look at the Patriots game against Cleveland. And let's be real. Two of the most inconsistent teams in the NFL this year have been the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns, where they have blowout wins one week, and they blew out Cincinnati the week before. The same team that blew out Baltimore 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. You know what I mean? These teams look different. Like, you can't look at this Cleveland game and be like, oh, look, the Patriots beat the Browns. They blew them out. That's how good they are. The Patriots look great. But again, Cleveland's a suspect team. You know what I mean? The Chargers are a suspect team.
They are.
AFC North is bipolar, bro.
But I guess it's what you would call quality opponents. But again, we blew out the Jets, and everybody was like, okay, it was just the Jets. I'm sorry, Rich. No offense, but I get it. You know what I mean?
No.
I was surprised that you guys like stomped Cleveland. Like, Cleveland wasn't even in the game for a minute.
You know what, though? Belichick took out Myles Garrett. And as soon as they took Myles Garrett out of the game, that changed the whole game for the Patriots because they were able to march the field.
When
right?
you say Belichick takes out Myles Garrett, what do you mean by that?
Myles Garrett.
Like, you took out two quarterbacks. What do you mean by that? Is that a positive?
No. I mean, Myles Garrett had two quarterback pressures the entire game.
Like,
right?
Was there a hit out on him? Did you guys have what was it?
Did you guys? I don't know if you guys saw it. It was trending on Twitter, at least on Patriots Twitter this week. Like N'Keal Harry, our wide receiver, chipping and just blowing out Myles Garrett coming off the line. Like, Garrett was just getting hit everywhere that he went. And we got Trent Brown who came back. Our offensive line was hurting.
Anthony. Anthony's my boy.
That's hysterical.
The offensive line was hurting. We got Trent Brown back. He took Jadeveon Clowney right out of the game. He couldn't come close to Mac Jones. And that's been a big – if you go back to the first 5 weeks of the season, Mac Jones was just a pinata back there for defenders.
Whack Jones. I mean? Whack Jones, as I call him on my channel. I refuse to call him by his name. Whack Jones.
Call him whatever you want. It's
Whack Jones 281-330-80.
Yo, he's putting up numbers, man. Whack or Mac. Yo, listen.
I think he's already played more professional games than Tua as well, right? Because Tua can't stay on the field for more than a game and a half.
Right. One thing I will say, and I mean, this is coming from a Bills fan. Mac Jones was the steal of that fucking draft in the quarterback.
No, he wasn't. He really wasn't.
You don't think so?
No, and I have no issue. No, I have no issue saying that I don't think he has the same success in Chicago. I think he looks okay. He fits what the Patriots needed.
What do you think he looked like if the
You want to know why? Because Belichick drafts people for his offense. That's why.
You know, Louis Riddick came out this week and said Bill Belichick gets knocked a lot because he doesn't go out and make the splashy signings that people look for. Like, even if you look at the big free agent splurge that he had outside of the tight ends, it's not like, you know, he left all the top wide receivers. He didn't touch them. He signed Kendrick Bourne and Nelson Aguilar, you know what I mean? And left all the other big boys to go sign other places and spent big money on defense. He brought in Davin Gotcha, who I said was the most underrated signing of the year. We couldn't stop the run last year. We needed someone who could come in and help stop the run. You know what I mean? And Belichick brings in guys. This guy ended up getting hurt, but they brought in this guy, Henry Anderson, who can set the edge on the run. Another underrated signing that people don't. It's just a role guy, but Belichick brings in players that his team needs. Kendrick Bourne had 141 all-purpose yards last week. He's never not doing that in San Francisco. He's really not. I don't think Mac Jones is doing well in maybe if Salah, but you guys don't have an offensive line in New York. You know what I mean? So Mac Jones probably would have got pummeled behind that line of scrimmage. You had one. I apologize. It got decimated, but by injury. But he brings in players who works. Look how Cam Newton didn't work in New England. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if Josh Allen works in New England. You know what I mean? Like, you need a special kind of player. He's also got a team.
No, you don't need a special player. You need the right player.
That's what I mean. Though,
Jacoby looked good in your offense, right?
You need a guy who will look good in the offense, but you also need a guy who has the mental makeup to play in New England, who's going to take the crap from Belichick. He's going to deal with the media there. It's like New York. You need a special guy to play in New York and deal with the New York media, right? And there's a lot. And listen, the biggest fight and battle that was going on throughout the whole off season, and I was on I think I was on this channel when I came out and said Cam Newton should start for the Patriots this year, and they should sit Mac Jones and let him learn how to be a starting quarterback. I've looked like an idiot the entire season, from my whole preseason predictions for this team. But Ramondre Stevenson looks like he's going to be the steal of the draft coming out of the 4th round, had his first 100-yard game. Damian Harris is a dog. They've got a run game. They protect Mac Jones with the run game. They do. Josh McDaniels the last few weeks has been a friggin' genius with his play calling and his misdirection and all this stuff. And that's why Mac Jones I'm not saying he wouldn't be successful eventually in the NFL, but I don't think he goes to any of the other teams that drafted quarterbacks and would have looked like he looked like now with any of those other teams, because he just fit what the Patriots were doing.
Yeah. So I mean, that was actually going to be my follow-up question, was just that, it seems like he's more of a system quarterback. That's why he's successful this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's not an unfair assessment. I know Patriot fans are gonna. I'm not a popular Patriot fan anyway, so I don't give a fuck. But
tell us how you really feel, bro.
I tell Patriot fans all the time that I hate them. I'm like, there's no fan base I hate more than the Patriots fan base. But and I'm the Patriots fan, just so everybody knows for this thing. But no, it's a fair assessment.
Why do you say that? Be honest with me, because I think I think if we went around the room here and said what is the worst thing about our fan bases, I think we could probably have a whole show about that period. But what is it about your fan base that drives you? Because you don't want that smoke, my guy. But I got.
Well, I can say nothing bad about Bills Mafia, baby.
The entitlement. To me, it's the entire. First of all, I'm a pre-Tom Brady fan, so I need to put that on the table, because there's a big difference between pre-Tom Brady fan and then Tom Brady fans.
Yep.
I was saying this on my podcast Monday night. I had a guest on, it was my former broadcast partner, Connor, had him on. We were shooting the shit, and I said, isn't it amazing that nobody's tweeting about Tom Brady anymore, and I don't have to hear about the fucking Bucs each and every week, right? Because every Patriots fan became a Buccaneer fan last year. Patriot fans, if I had to hear one more Patriot fan say that Bill Belichick can't draft, he's nothing without Tom Brady. Anytime I go on any other channel for any other fan base, and I say, hey, Patriot fans want Belichick fired, almost every single one has been like, we'll take him. You know what I mean? If you guys don't want him, we'll gladly take him. And it's but it's the entitlement factor of they win 45-7, and there's still people criticizing things online. You know what I mean? And if the Patriots,
I wish we had that problem. Please let us have that problem. Yeah. Please. Richie and I are if we could just please argue about something like that, it would make the world better.
So there's an entitlement factor, and last year really turned me off of Pats fans. Really turned me off Pats fans. Watching these weeks, I've been a Pats fan for 15 years, and I can't watch another second of this game. And I'm like, all right, so you're going to be a Tampa fan for 2 years, and you'll probably become a Chiefs fan. The bandwagon cleared, and now that a lot of the bandwagon has finally shifted and gone and left and changed their fucking little avatars from Patriot symbols to Buck symbols or wherever they went, you're starting to see the real fans.
They're bandwagon jumpers, bro.
Yeah, so I'm starting to but I've been dealing with that for 20 years. You know what I mean? It's been 20 years of the bandwagon building. And I always said this, if you started bandwagoning the Patriots, say in 2007, and you're still a fan of them today, are you really a bandwagon anymore? You know what I mean?
Yes, of course.
If you
guys have been winning for 22 years, bro.
No. I feel like that all right, listen. I think if the bandwagon era ends, all right, if someone hops on the bandwagon when they're good, but then they stick with the team for say 3-4 years when they're terrible,
but they haven't been terrible. They've had losing season, bro?
If you were a 12-year-old who became a Patriots fan in 2007, you're now an adult in 2021. I don't consider
you're a real fan.
I'm saying no, I don't consider you a bandwagon. However, there's people who are in their fucking 20s who have told me, I became a Patriots fan in 2014. And all of a sudden, when Brady goes to Tampa, they're like, fuck Belichick. I've been a Patriots. I've been loyal. I'm not loyal anymore. I'm like, you've been loyal since they won their fucking first Super Bowl, the second part of the dynasty. Shut the fuck up. That's my issue. I got to say, 2021, now there's been success, but 2021, they've been patient with Mac Jones when he was going through his rookie shit. They were patient with his defense. The bandwagon is kind of cleared. I'm worried about it coming back because it's been too quick of a turnaround. But I don't really hate Patriots fans as much as I did last year. I fucking hated them. I almost stopped cheering for the Patriots just because I hated the fan base so much. Like I couldn't.
If I had known getting on this roundtable that the Patriot fan was going to be ragging on the Patriot fans, I would have been like, you don't need me today. You're good.
Oh no, my followers know.
Hard to get it works, bro.
If you go on my fucking YouTube channel, they know I rip Patriot fans want to rip anybody. It's like me versus Patriot. It's just the fucking idiocy that comes from the talk. And you can tell the guys who were there in the early 2000s or the 90s or this and that. Like people always ask me, this is how you know if someone's a Patriots fan. Ask them who turned around the Patriots. Like who turned around the Patriots. And if they say Tom Brady, they know fuck all about the Patriots. Drew Bledsoe. The fucking Patriots before 1996.
Belichick turned around.
Oh, they went to a Super Bowl before Belichick got there. I know he was defense,
bro.
But I'm saying though, they were the most irrelevant. When I became a fucking Patriots fan, they're the most irrelevant nobodies in the league. And then they fucking drafted Drew Bledsoe. And that kind of turned the ship and turned the tide. And then Brady finished the job. And then whatever, the last 20 years happened. Right? But yeah.
Master at work, you didn't want to come up here and get this smoke, my guy? I was ready for you tonight, man. I was ready for you tonight.
Yo, Master, the StreamYard link is in the DM, brother. Hop on, brother. I'll let you in. Yeah, hey, but
I didn't mean to take. I just wanted to ask Richie, what are like Jet fans like? What are some of the problems you have with Jet fans?
Jets fans is interesting, man. Jets Nation is, I have one word for them, but it's because of how passionate we are, and it comes with it. We're toxic because we care so damn much, and we've suffered for so damn long. Where, Jets fans turn on each other. And that's the thing, because we all have our own opinions. We all think we should do this. We think we should do that. We don't think this is the right move. We think this player is good. Now this player thinks they're bad. It's just, we're always in a debacle with each other but at the same time, we all want the same result. And that's where I'm at. I'm always trying to be that medium on my channel. I'm always trying to bring both sides together. I see where you're coming from on this side. I see where you're coming from on that side. But that's just years of the Jets sucking for so long, where the Jets fans are just so used to the pain where it doesn't really get to them that much.
You're numb to it. We're
numb to it. And I get people on my channel. Obviously, I'm a young Jets fan. I'm 23 years old, so I haven't been, suffering as long as other Jets fans where they come on my channel like, oh, Richie, how are you still covering this team, man? I've been a Jets fan for 50 years and they've been the same nonsense over and over again. Just stop making content for them now while you can. And I'm like, nah, man, I'm not like that. I'm going to be making the content throughout everything.
Well, what's even worse is you have the Mets and the Knicks that you make. I mean, that's just bad, bro.
Oh, yeah, bro. My whole life, it's been all about bad.
At least I have the Heat and the Panthers. And
it's funny you talk about that.
But Jets fans are the best. I'll finish off with that. Put a bow on it real quick. The Jets fans are one of the most passionate fan bases in the world. They care so damn much. When we win, MetLife is one of the hardest places to play in because of how loud they are.
Except when the Dolphins are there, we take over. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, just like in Miami.
Yo, listen, if I was a Dolphins fan at 3-7, I would not be spending any money on any game.
Bro, I've been so this will be my brother. So I live in Baltimore. I went down to Miami for 2 games. I'm going up to New York for the game, and then I found out in December I'm probably going back down for the Jets game again. Because I got some stuff going on, but yeah,
I do feel a bit bad for Jets. Like I was actually just watching the documentary on the '94 draft the other night, and they were when the Jets thought they were going to get Warren Sapp, and then they end up fucking drafting Kyle Brady. You know what I mean? And just like the absolute disappointment just flowing through you. Like you never, it's like you're not allowed nice things in New York.
Yeah, man, we're still living on that 2009, 2010 season, and now that was so long ago, and I'm so over it. But I'm patient.
You went to 2 AFC Championship games. You were right there. You were right there, bro.
We beat Brady in the playoffs.
You beat Brady and you beat Manning. You beat Manning and Brady in the same season.
And couldn't close the deal.
And then you lost to Flacco.
That's like taking the hot girl out for the prom. Dancing with her all night, and she's grinding on you, and you still can't close the deal, bro.
Yeah, man. And then we lost to Peyton Manning in the championship.
But yeah, you beat the Nick Folk fucking 50-yard field goal against Indy. Which, by the way, Nick Folk is a fucking legend now, man.
Yeah. What the hell?
like a fucking
I
legend.
love Nick Folk, and I hate that he's on the Patriots right now.
Like, last year, here's the joke, because it became a really big joke on our podcast, because last year before the season started, I'm like, where do you trust Nick Folk as the kicker? We're like, anything within 35, we're comfortable. Anything outside of 35, we're nervous. Now he's lining up for 50s, and we're just like, whatever. You know what I mean? We're like, he's going to hit it. It's fucking Nick Folk is a fucking legend.
That's so. He's questionable for tomorrow. Will he play? Because I have him in fantasy.
Yes, he's going to play tomorrow. He's always questionable. It's the Patriots fucking injury report. Everybody's injured on the Patriots.
Interesting.
Oh, look who's here.
What's up, my guy?
That's right.
Sorry, guys. I was at the casino. I was stuck at the slots. I was winning so much money. I'm like, bro, I can't.
I gotta focus
can't
on the
leave.
bag, dog. I gotta focus.
No,
on
I
the
just
bag.
wanted to hop in here and pinpoint on Ray's little soliloquy that he had. I agree with him. But I will defend Patriots fans in this sense. When you win so much and then you lose the greatest quarterback of all time, and you have the season that we had last year, I'm guilty of it as well. You know what I'm saying? I was cheering for Brady last year, but I did.
Well, you didn't jump ship though. You didn't jump ship. You stuck out the Patriots.
But
all year.
I will say,
you stuck out the.
What'd you say, Ray?
You stuck out the Patriots all year, though. Yeah, you were cheering for Brady, which was fine. I had no problems with people cheering for Brady, but you still stuck it out with the Patriots. There was just people who just fucking walked away when Brady.
Oh yeah, they completely jumped the ship.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this: they're not welcome back.
They're not welcome.
They're
back,
not.
Baby. I like that. I like that.
Oh, don't worry.
I had to unfollow a lot of people because of that.
Scare. They got that Patriot scare in their closet. They're gonna come back.
But they've been found out. I mean, it really depends, but I'm talking about like the content creators, the big people on Instagram and Twitter. Like, there are a couple of them that completely just jump ship. There was actually a Patriots fan that on Instagram that had like a lot of followers, and he was a huge Cam Newton fan. And as soon as we cut him, he just completely deleted everything. He said he's done with the Patriots fan base.
I love how Patriots fans' views of craziness is like this, and Richie and I are like, "What are y'all complaining about? There's nothing to complain about,
I know,
bro."
man. It's serious. It's really.
But here's the thing, right? You don't know what it feels like to constantly win, and then all of a sudden, it wasn't even like a steep decline. It was a Titanic dive.
I appreciate that.
You know what I mean?
Appreciate that.
Yeah, that's.
It only lasted one season. I will say that.
I have no comeback for that because he's not like I can't fight that argument. That's facts.
No, yeah, it was but I get exactly what Tice is saying, because it was you went from, and even being a fan before the Brady era, I still got 20 years of what we had. You know what I mean? Like, and then all of a sudden there was a dive. However, guys like Tyson, I have respect for. I had no problem with people cheering for Brady. I was definitely cheering for Brady to beat Mahomes. I think a lot of people were cheering for Brady to beat Mahomes. You know what I mean? I finally found another quarterback that people hate more than Brady. You know what I mean? But anyway, I was cheering for Brady to win too. But Tyson still stuck it out. I still stuck it out. I came out after every fucking game and tried to figure out how the Patriots were going to make the playoffs. Tyson came on every Monday and we talked about what could happen. There were just people, though, that pretended to be fucking diehards, that all of a sudden, if they were content creators, their content started getting smaller and smaller and they weren't putting out so much. Or you just had people who were claiming to be these diehard fucking Patriot fans who suddenly weren't Patriot fans anymore. So I was happy to see the bandwagon unleashed. And I agree with Tyson. They're not welcome back. And there are ones who got exposed and they'll never be welcome back in my circle again.
Yeah, you know what?
I feel bad for them because what's going to happen when Brady eventually retires?
Richie, bro.
And then what are they? You know what I mean? Like, what are they going to do then?
Laugh, bro.
Because, because it looks like we're going to go on another run.
That ain't going to happen,
Patriots, bro. I'm sick of them.
Yo, all right. Listen, this is a great segue. This is a great segue because I mean, I really want to make this a topic real fast. So I mean, obviously, no one would have expected that the Patriots were the ones that were going to be sort of having a competition with the Bills for the AFC East, right? I mean, I'm not even going to lie, Dolphins fans. Y'all are probably going to love me for saying this. Feel free to clip this. At the beginning of the season, I was highly anticipating that the Dolphins would be in the position that the Patriots are in right now. It is completely different. I mean, I know that the Bills dropped one to the Jags, which was super embarrassing. Great video, by the way, Tyson. Great video, by the way, on that one.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. That video, I enjoyed it.
It was it was super funny. Listen, bro. Like I was telling y'all behind the stage, I'm so easily roastable. Like I love a good roast because I mean I'm like an easy target. Like look at me, you know what I mean? But with the Bills ended up doing what they did to the Jets. Sorry, Richie. I feel like right now, I mean, we're still sort of on the line of the best defense in the entire NFL. And then as far as like point differential, we're leading the league by like plus 26 on average. We're blowing out teams minus, those few games.
Except Jacksonville.
Except Jacksonville. I was at that game, and that's the reason that we lost. Every single Bills game I've gone to in my entire life, we have fucking lost in person. So I'm staying away at least 300 plus miles from that active 53 from now on. But anyway, back to the Patriots guys real fast. How confident are you guys, starting off with Ray or Tyson, whoever wants to take this, of what are your thoughts on y'all's actual, I would say, chance of winning the AFC East? What's your prediction? Are you thinking that you're squeaking in via a wild card? What's your overall prediction right now? So many Bills fans know this.
Yeah, I want to start off first, and then Ray, you can finish it up.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm still kind of weary. I really am. The reason why I'm weary is because we got a game tomorrow with Atlanta, and I'm kind of afraid of that game because it's a Thursday night game. And the reason why I'm so worried is because I've never seen so many people jump on the Mac Jones bandwagon this week. You even had Tyrann Mathieu give his praise. I mean, you've arrived when an opposing player feels the need to tweet about how everyone was wrong. And we didn't even play Tyrann Mathieu. And he's a safety? He's a very respectable player. I've listened to all the talk shows. Everyone is eating crow. Everyone just can't believe it. But the reason why I'm worried is because we're coming off a short week. And I feel like this team is getting a little arrogant, a little cocky. Yeah. I feel like the fan base is definitely getting cocky, and we can like if we lose tomorrow, then that's to me, then we just take 5 steps back. But am I confident? I think it comes down to the Tennessee game to see how confident to really gauge where this team is at. But I think we're in a great position. I keep telling Bills fans they don't like to hear it. You guys won the division in the middle of a pandemic. Where the Patriots had to replace a Hall of Fame great quarterback in one season where we had no training camp or limited training camp and no preseason. And now that we had a chance to draft, we had a chance to spend money. We weren't hamstrung with the cap. Now you're getting to see the fruits of Belichick's labor within the free agent market and his draft class. So, like I said, I called the Bills the AFC East COVID Mickey Mouse banner that you guys hung up.
Wow,
a fraud. I think the Bills are. Listen, you guys say you have the best defense, but you guys haven't really played anybody either. So I think, like I said, it's going to come down to our 2 games to see who gets the division. But if the way our defense is looking, I'm very confident that we can continue this run and may God have mercy on everyone's soul if the Patriots really are back and this isn't just smoke and mirrors.
We'll see you week 19, bro.
Oh my God,
you'll be eliminated by then.
Ray, what you got by that?
Yeah, I agree with Tyson, man. The Titans game is probably our biggest game of the year next to playing you guys. That 4-game stretch between Tennessee, Indianapolis, and the 2 games against the Colts, that's the biggest stretch of the season, and that's going to determine the AFC East, I think, is as far as I'm concerned. Truthfully, I think if we want to win the AFC East, we got to win 3 of the 4. You know what I mean? We got to at least split with Buffalo, and one of those has to obviously be against Buffalo. We got to split with Buffalo at the very least, and we got to beat Tennessee, and we got to beat Indy. I'm no longer scared of Indy like I was at the beginning of the year. That team, no, not at all. There's nothing that scares me about that team. They can stop Jonathan Taylor. They know how to stop the run. They've shut down just some of the top run games in the last few weeks. Tennessee's a tough game. Tennessee is no joke. That defense is no joke. Even Ryan Tannehill is no joke. They're winning despite not having Derrick Henry. And again, though, another streaky team. That's what it's going to come down to, though. Atlanta, I get exactly what Tyson's saying. I was thinking about this today. Mac Jones was talking about how he's never had a game before where it's been such a quick turnaround. Like he's never dealt with the 4 thing. But we got Damian Harris coming back tomorrow, so we're back to the 2-headed monster at running back. I think it's going to be a ground and pound game. It's going to be a bread and butter game. Thursday night games are dirty, bread and butter, no scheme games anyhow. Patriots got the second best scoring offense in the NFL, or scoring defense in the NFL. Atlanta's got like the 25th worst scoring offense in the NFL. I have faith in that game, but yeah, it's going to come down to those 4 weeks. That Tennessee, that's sort of those 2 AFC South games and the Buffalo games of there. From a confidence level, I'll tell you after the Titans game. That's when I'll be able to really gauge how I feel.
Vrabel scares me. If there's any coach I have more respect for in this league, it's Mike Vrabel. He's not afraid of Belichick. He's not intimidated by Belichick. He's definitely not intimidated going into Foxborough. We saw that a couple of years ago in the playoffs. So I think Vrabel if he had a quarterback, the Titans would definitely be like real Super Bowl threats. But they lost Derrick Henry. Julio Jones is on IR. They're not at full strength.
The Titans suck.
The Titans suck. Yo, yeah, dude. The fucking Jets.
They're easy, bro.
Threw it right in there. But I mean, it's funny because they just recently ended up putting out, it was NBC, I think, power rankings. The Bills, according to NBC, are 7 and the Patriots are 8. Not sure if you guys saw that yet.
Yeah, but they have the fucking Packers at 1, right?
No, they have the Titans.
Those are bullshit rankings, bro. Those are bullshit rankings.
I go by Stephen A. Smith's rankings. He has us at number 4.
Nah, like for real though, like it's not that, bro. Like
rankings.
Yo, here, real talk, and I'm gonna call it like I see it. There is no team in the AFC that is like, okay, this team is gonna automatically win no matter what. Bills have been shown up. Patriots have been shown up. Like it does. There's no team that's running. Tennessee's been shown up. There's no team that's running away with this.
No, all of a sudden there was some vintage Kansas City the other night. You know what I
mean? The number 1 seed is up for grabs.
It's not even that. I'm telling you right now, whoever the number 1, I'm not a betting man and I don't bet, but I'm telling you right now, the number 1 seed will not go to the Super Bowl in the AFC.
You don't know that.
Not gonna happen. Keep the receipt, people.
It depends who the number 1 seed is.
In the AFC,
number 1 seed will not go to the AFC.
Will not go.
We'll go to the Super Bowl in the AFC.
The beauty of it, Steven, is you get to sit at home again for the 5th straight year and watch it all play out.
That's all right, my guy. I'm trying to tell you right now, we about to run this table. We're going to take care of boy Richie this weekend at the Meadowlands. We're about to take over MetLife. Y'all don't want none.
Yo, listen, this is a great transition because the Dolphins and the Jets are playing this week. Yeah. Richie, Steven's been sitting here saying that the Jets are just going to roll over. Dude,
they are.
Start talking some fucking shit, dude. Let me hear some of this stuff, man.
I'm ready.
Yeah, I mean, going into this game, the Joe Flacco situation is definitely a little deflating. I have more energy watching Zach Wilson, definitely more energy watching Mike White. But
we have TD in here. But
thank you, TD. I was like, man, is this the Patriots hour?
TD?
What's up with this?
Hey, I can't stay. As long as you told them we still going to the Super Bowl, baby.
Bro, I got you, TD. Don't even worry about it. TD, you get better, my guy. I'm holding it down for us, big homie. Don't even worry about it.
Don't smile, Ray. Don't smile. You'll see.
This is why I've been saying this. Obviously, I say this all the time.
Man,
like, you got to kill the Dolphins. Like, you got to make sure they're dead and buried, because anytime they ever have any sense of hope, they completely go overboard. So, Richie, please, just end this madness.
Bro.
Patriots.
Richie, please continue.
All right.
Patriots are frauds.
So, unfortunately, the Joey Flacco situation is interesting. But I think the X factor for this Jets game, in order for us to get the victory, I think it's the defense, because the defense has been, non-existent for the past 5 weeks. We've been underperforming like no other. And I think the key to victory against the Miami Dolphins is our defensive line absolutely taking over the line of scrimmage against a terrible Miami Dolphins offensive line. And that starts with Quinton Williams. That starts with CJ Mosley. That starts with the entire front seven, because that's how we beat the Tennessee Titans. The Titans, they did not really have a good offensive line at that time. We got 7 sacks on Ryan Tannehill. We absolutely took over that game at the line of scrimmage. So the only way the New York Jets have any ounce of hope in this game is if the defense can show up, because the defense has been historically bad. They've been good up 40 bombs left and right. They look non-existent out there. And this is the game where, and it's not like this Jets defense is bad all year long. They showed flashes the first 4 games of the season. I was like, wow, this Jets defense is actually really good. Without all the key guys that are out with injuries, they're actually playing good. And I'm waiting for that to get back where they're at right now. But it's been a really tough time, and I feel like the only way the Jets win this game is by dominating the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, because the only way Joe Flacco has a good game is if the offensive line protects him. And Elijah Vera-Tucker, our rookie left guard, has been absolutely sensational. I'm so happy he's a New York Jet, because he looks like an absolute stud, star in the making. But the offensive line, if we do not protect Joe Flacco, it's going to be a long day for him. You know, I just want to see Joe Flacco go out there, give the ball to our playmakers. That's all I want.
Richie, y'all not even getting 30 yards, bro. Stop.
Yo,
yeah, sure.
Yo, please. All right, check it out, Richie. I'm about to school you, my boy. I'm about to school you, son. Go ahead, take a seat, take a pencil out. Let me tell you what's about to go down. Number one. Tua's about to have a career game on Sunday. Let's just get that straight off the bat. About to have a career game. Number two. There's this guy. There's 2 guys you're gonna need to watch out for. Mike Gesicki and Matt Collins. They about to get these yards on these boys. And I ain't even brought up Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle's about to have a big day too. I'm telling you right now, Tua's going to throw for over 300 yards. He's going to have over 3 touchdowns.
Tua?
And boy, our defense is going to be eating all day long, boy. It's going to be a sack fest. Emmanuel Ogbah, Jalen Phillips, Javon Holland. It's not even. It's going to be practice. We sit here talking about practice, man. We're not talking about a game. We're talking about practice. I'm
Super
trying to
Bowl,
tell
baby.
Yo, Richie. After that take right there, I'm putting money down on the Jets.
No, I just want to remind where the Dolphins were 2 games ago. You guys
Super
were.
Bowl,
That was 2 games ago, Richie.
And I'm just reminding
that was
you guys
2 games ago.
that you're not all you think you are. You're not running the table, and the Miami Dolphins are right where the Jets are. Yes, you might beat us this week.
We'll see you in 5 weeks again down in Miami.
Right here together.
2 games ago, Pat White was
Richie,
the MVP.
Richie, the Jets are gonna win. The Jets are gonna fucking blow out the Dolphins next.
You're a hater.
I honestly wish Zach Wilson was healthy.
You're a hater, Dan.
Zach Wilson was out there. I would have more confidence with Zach Wilson, to be honest.
Bro, I'm telling you, if my prediction comes to fruition, I want to be back up here next weekend on the AFC East Roundtable, and all I want to hear from y'all is, Steven, you were right. Steven, you were right. That's all I want to hear from you, Richie. That's it.
Well, listen, the Jets defense has been atrocious for the past couple of weeks, so it's really hard for me to sit here with a straight face and say that's not going to happen. So, there's not a lot for me to argue, because what I'm seeing on the field has been an absolute joke for the defensive side of the ball from the Jets, and I'm waiting for a bounce back. So, to be honest, I don't really have anything to rebuttal with you. I'm just hoping that they can actually go out there and prove me wrong and just actually look like a competent football team for once.
All you're going to hear on Sunday from the crowd is
Super Bowl.
J-E-T-S, suck. That's all you're going to hear.
No. Yo, bro, TD.
Super Bowl.
I know you're a sick man. Listen, and
Super
everyone in the
Bowl.
audience.
Super
everyone
Bowl.
in the audience is requesting that you feel better. You know,
No, they don't.
So you are
on
all on
Buffalo
our
Bills
thoughts.
channel.
Yo, bro, you have some. Yo, bro, listen. At least 40% of my audience is Miami Dolphins fans. At least.
I wish I could pass.
At least.
I wish
brother.
I could pass
Okay.
on what I have.
I
I wish I could
But,
pass
yo.
what I have to Josh Allen.
Yo, and so TD, you can definitely put your thoughts on Josh Allen in a little bit, but I just want to hear your thoughts against the Jets game coming up on Sunday.
It's not even worth it. They won't even get 30 yards, man. It's the Jets.
Oh my god.
It's the Jets, bro.
And you're the Dolphins.
Man,
I like Richie too.
What does that
I like Richie.
What does that even mean, bro? You have 1 win against a good team. We have 2 wins against 2 good teams. So
you talk about Tennessee when they didn't even have a receiver on the field.
they had
Stop
Derrick
it, Richie.
Henry. They had
Stop.
everybody. Don't
Stop,
even give me
Richie.
that crap. They're winning without Derrick Henry. They're winning
even
without
a-
Julio right now. That means absolutely trash. So don't even go there. The
A
Jets have 2 wins
broke
against
clock
2
is
really
right
good
twice a day, and
I'm
y'all
about to
got
say
y'all
even
two
a
years.
blind squirrel finds a nut. Come on now.
Thank you.
The hell out of here. Okay.
Like
listen,
last
I
week
wanna
with
move on.
Miami.
All right. And so I want to move on, like, right to this next game. The Patriots are going up against the Falcons tomorrow night. In fact, I'm thinking about streaming that game. Like, why the fuck not? But
Falcons by 50.
so what are y'all's thoughts? So what are y'all's thoughts on that game? Because I mean, I have confidence that the Pats will come out on top, but I feel like the Falcons aren't as bad as everybody thinks.
I'm gonna do you one better. I think Atlanta's one of the worst teams in all of football. I really do.
The Falcons are as bad as you think they are.
They're horrible. I'm telling you right now.
And the Patriots going to lose to them.
Here's the problem with what's going to happen. Tomorrow night, the Patriots are going to look like Super Bowl contenders because they're going to play a scrub team like Atlanta. And all we're going to hear for the next few weeks is, oh, my God, Wack Jones is amazing. He's rookie of the year. And, oh, my God, Bill Belichick's done it again. That's all you're going to hear.
You're already starting to hear it, Steven.
Look, y'all going to play Atlanta tomorrow night. You're going to kill them because Atlanta sucks.
The Patriots are the new
You lost to Atlanta. Didn't y'all lose to Atlanta with Tua?
I was gonna say this 3-7 team.
You lost to Atlanta with Tua.
The Patriots have won more games in 4 weeks than you guys have all season. Like, there's a lot of shit.
Be careful, Ray.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, the Dolphins lost to the Falcons, the Jets lost to the Falcons. Like,
Be careful,
why
Ray.
shit about the Falcons.
So how bad? So if the Falcons are the worst team in football, what makes you? What does that make you then?
Bro, even a blind squirrel finds a nut, my guy. Come on now.
Yeah, I guess y'all haven't found 7 weeks of nuts. Then y'all, what are y'all storing them for the winter playoffs?
The Patriots are the new Cowboys. What can
I like
go
that.
wrong
That's a
will
good
go
take,
wrong.
TD. That's
They
a real
will.
good take. I like
they will
that.
always look like they got a chance post Brady, and they will always come short. I can't stand y'all bums. I can't stand Josh Allen and Richie. I can't stand the Jets either. All y'all bums.
Playoffs, so at least we'll have those
The Cowboys haven't won in 25 years.
Oh, and he dropped off. He did the mic drop and walked off.
Hiatus.
He did the mic drop and walked off.
Yo, TD, what's the Dolphins' record?
He's
TD
gone.
He left.
Oh, what's
Since Troy Aikman's left, the
3-7, sir. 3-7.
Hold on, though. Since Aikman's left the
that
Cowboys, how many times have they went to the playoffs? A lot, right?
Ooh.
I know they haven't.
They haven't been to the NFC Championship game since then.
Yeah, I know, but I know they went to the playoffs. So I'm just trying to figure out if they've been there more than the Dolphins since Aikman left.
It's easy to do
They
that.
have.
That when you guys.
They've also won more playoff games
out.
than the Dolphins too.
It's easy when you guys cheat. That's all I'm gonna say.
What's your excuse for? Well, what's your excuse for 2 decades of ineptitude?
Front office, ownership, take your pick, bro.
The cheating argument is the worst argument to use on me.
That's fine.
They just say they have nothing else to cling to.
That word. There's no cheaters,
dude. It's just the way I don't really give a fuck. I never ever think back to those 6 Super Bowls I watched and go, fuck, Spygate. Never. I'm like, deflate more footballs.
Because,
like, honest to God.
So you have no morals. You have no morals.
No, not when it comes to
okay. I'm going to bring it back old school. Did you know that the Miami Dolphins got docked a draft pick and got caught for tampering for hiring Don Shula? They lost a first round pick for that.
You talking about? You really want to go there? Number one, Baltimore Colts were doing some illegal crap back in the day and wouldn't let him out of his contract. And
doesn't matter. Still, you still got punished for it.
Did you really just bring up Don Shula in 1970?
The most overrated coach in NFL history.
Did you really?
Oh my God! That's disrespectful, Master at Work. Don't you?
He never won with Dan Marino. How can you claim to be a great coach but you couldn't win with one of the greatest? Dan Marino, and I will say this, and I hate Miami. If Tom Brady didn't exist, Dan Marino was on a functional football team with an actual head coach. Dan Marino is the greatest quarterback of all time. But guess what? Don Shula couldn't win with Dan Marino.
Master at Work, you're my boy, but you can never talk about Don Shula. Yo, he is the GOAT.
He never won. He never won with one of the greatest.
Dude, when your coach gets more wins than Don Shula, come talk to me. Until then,
bro, did you know Don Shula coached nearly like more than 100 more games? And Belichick's gonna break it in 2 years. He's gonna break that record.
He's not even gonna get to 2 years.
He's gonna break that record. He's only how many wins is he behind Ray? Like maybe 25, 30?
I'm glad y'all Patriot fan. I'm glad y'all Patriot fans.
He's 20 wins away.
I'm glad y'all Patriot fans think you're about to run the table again for the next 20 years. There ain't no way in hell that's happening.
Can you win a playoff game in the next 20 years?
We can win the playoff game this year because that's what's going to happen.
Did you know that you guys have the third longest streak of a team that hasn't won a playoff game?
Bro,
You're right behind the Lions and the Bengals.
I understand that, bro. I got you, my guy. You are telling me things I already know. I got you. You don't have to tell me and Richie that our teams have sucked for 50 million years. We know that.
The Jets haven't sucked. They actually won a few playoff games and actually beat us in a meaningful playoff game.
Jets haven't won a Super Bowl since Super Bowl III. We haven't won a Super Bowl since Super Bowl VIII, right? 1973. Okay. I got you. But the only undefeated team to ever win a Super Bowl is the Miami Dolphins, baby. Every time y'all
sold your soul and now you're never going to win again.
We won in 73. You can't use that excuse.
Can I ask you a question, Steven? If God came down to you and said, listen, you're going to be a Super Bowl contender for the next 20, 30 years, but you have to take away the perfect season, would you take it? Yes, you would. Because you can't go back to 1973.
I plead the fifth. Okay.
So yeah, you would. Right. Every Dolphins
can we switch gears
let
for
Dan
a second?
Speak. Let the leader speak. His guy's not speaking. It's on his channel.
The Bills have a pretty interesting.
My bad, Dan. I'm sorry.
Maybe we should talk. You got the Colts this weekend, right?
The Bills do have the Colts this week.
A little toughy.
Great. I was going to go on ahead and I was actually going to talk about this. I am a bit nervous. I'm not going to lie to you. However, there are several injuries on the Colts defense. And even when they were healthy, surprisingly, I would say this is probably like one of the most surprising things I have seen with the personnel that the Colts defense has on staff. They are in the bottom of the league for overall defense whatsoever. So it seems like right now that Starr is going to be back. Our defensive tackle, our one tech, very, very important in stopping the run. And looks like Edmonds as well. Our sort of the middle linebacker is going to be back, ready to go. So I am fully confident that we will be able to have an answer for Jonathan Taylor. As far as Carson Wentz and their passing game, I mean, as much as I've ever wanted to doubt our secondary, I can't doubt our secondary at this point. I mean,
who are you going to have on Pittman? Are you going to have Tre'Davious White on Pittman?
Most likely, but even if we don't have Trey White on that, I am 100% fine with Taron Johnson working outside of the slot.
I do want to ask you though how you think they're going to stop Jonathan Taylor, because he's actually quietly and I think it's because he's in Indy.
Great.
He's the best running back in the NFL, right?
Carter's better.
Exactly. I would say right now, and so I would tend to agree with you.
So how do you stop him?
Because he's on my fantasy team at this point. So here's really how it comes down with our run defense. Last week when we ended up going up against the Jets, we were missing probably our number one run blocker of our entire team. When he is out, our true one-tech defensive tackle, the rest of the defensive line just absolutely struggles. As far as our secondary is concerned, we have very mobile linebackers, especially with Matt Milano. He is tremendous against the run, and the same thing with Tremaine Edmonds. And then our secondary with Jordan Poyer, the safety, which led the entire team in tackles of last year. I have a feeling that is going to be largely a part of the Bills' entire game plan, to be completely honest with you, is containing him as much as you can. The second that we have that star back, our entire defensive line is so much better when it comes down into run blocking. And I have full confidence that the Bills will have an answer for Jonathan Taylor. I'm not nervous about Carson Wentz whatsoever at all. I have a feeling that the Buffalo Bills secondary is going to hold the Colts to maximum 17 points.
Dan, let me ask you a question, bro. So and I'm just playing devil's advocate here because I do think you're gonna beat Indy. But if you lose to Indy,
yes,
like the rest, like there's a legit shot you guys lose a few more games after that. And what are your thoughts if they lose? Where do you guys go?
So if we lose at the end of the day, I definitely don't want to be the guy that's going to say, hey, you know what? The sky is falling. Bills Mafia, what the hell is going on? I am not going to worry because, like the majority of the AFC East, we have statistically the easiest schedules throughout the rest of the remainder of the season. Now, with the Pats rising and being unexpectedly, I would say, threats right to the AFC East, I would be nervous. I mean, say, for example, that we were to lose to the Colts this coming Sunday, I would genuinely be nervous. I would still have confidence.
You'd be in second place.
Exactly. So, if that were to be the case, I would still have confidence that we would make the playoffs as a wild card team. But I feel like that if that were to be the case, then beating the Patriots twice would be like life and death.
So you believe
Yeah,
that the Patriots are for real?
I do. And so I will say right now that I think the Patriots are a legitimate threat. I really, really do. And so their defense is slept on, man. Listen, their defense is slept on heavy. Richie.
I don't
okay, listen, I got to hear your take on that, especially since you're,
what? On the Patriots?
You just gave an eh.
I was just blanding because, like, I hate the fact that the Patriots are so good because I was, like, looking forward to them finally being bad last year. I'm like, wow, maybe the Patriots can be bad, like with the Jets, who we can like be battling, and now here we are, and they're good again. That was really my.
You guys could have a party in the basement, but that couldn't happen. So
we could have a party in the basement if you want.
Steven.
That ain't happening, bro. Because we're gonna win out. We're gonna be 10-7, man.
Oh,
so Dan, I got another question for you.
Talk to me.
Because I talk to your boys over at Hashtag a lot, and
love those dudes.
Not Mario, Paul though has a huge problem with Brian. You're off on your OC. What's your thoughts on him? Like, what is your? Because I just listen to them just go ballistic on him, and I don't see what they're seeing. So I'm just interested in you as a Pats fan. What are your thoughts on his play calling this year?
Former Miami Dolphin offensive coordinator too.
So here's my thing. I am not particularly a Brian Daboll hater. I feel like he is a bit inconsistent, but I feel like it's to a point where he's trying to continuously change things about the offense as far as like play scheme and stuff. There has been so many complaints about, why hasn't Stephon Diggs been involved as much as he was in 2020? Why isn't Cole Beasley or Gabe Davis? I feel like this first half of the season, Daboll has been experimenting with some of our newer pieces that are huge contributors to the offense. For example, Emmanuel Sanders. I mean, he was the primary target for the first 4 to 5 weeks. And then Dawson Knox, who is a tight end, who has had history of dropping every single ball that has ever been thrown his way.
Now, do you think, sorry, if I could interrupt there, do you think that's a little bit of the Patriot syndrome, though? Because don't forget, he was the tight end coach in New England.
Daboll was?
Yeah. He was a tight end coach in New England.
Richie's the only one that hasn't dated Daboll. We've all had experiences with him.
And I know
we have dated it. We interviewed him to be our head coach last year, if that counts.
And I know that's been one of the complaints I've heard from Buffalo fans is here's a guy who watched the tight end system work and he has no idea how to use a tight end. That's the complaint I've been hearing from Buffalo fans, but I'm going to be honest. I haven't watched enough of your games this year to really catch on. And I want to know if there's any truth to that.
I mean, I would be honest with you. I think that it all depends on where the personnel is because nobody was expecting that Dawson Knox would have a season. Say that you were to tell me this in 2020, that Buffalo has no idea how to use a tight end. I'd be like, okay, please tell me something I don't know. But this year, as far as all the schemes that he's put in place, Dawson Knox has been having a fucking season. I mean, we have been like pounding the table for Zach Ertz during the offseason because we didn't have faith in Dawson Knox at this point. But I feel like Daboll hasn't necessarily not known how to use a tight end. It was just a lack of personnel and skill set. So as far as Daboll, the only complaint I have with the guy is back in the day, I was a huge advocate for run the damn ball. Like if you can run the ball and if you have a decent pass game, like you have a good chance of making a deep run in the playoffs. Daboll continuously attempts to run the ball against terrible teams that he doesn't realize that the Bills can't run the ball. We cannot run the ball. We are incapable of running the ball unless your name is Josh Allen, right? As far as Singletary is concerned, as far as Zach Moss is concerned, yeah, maybe they're talented, but our offensive line is almost always admitted, like they have admitted this verbatim, that they are so used to pass blocking because the Bills are a pass-first offense that when run plays are called, they're not as experienced with it. Hence why our running backs are getting fucking 1 to 2 yards each and every single attempt, minus a couple of I would say like outside scenarios. My biggest complaint with him is that he needs to realize that we can't fucking run the ball and we just need to do exactly what we need to do. And we put that on full display against the Jets this past week of going to our number one receiver and Stephon Diggs, utilizing Cole Beasley and utilizing Gabe Davis. I just want him to know our identity and fucking commit to it.
Which, by the way, fuck Singletary, because he's
Singletary. Yeah. Why is that?
Because I'm done. Outside of Josh Allen, I have been fucking wrong on every Buffalo player that I have predicted is going to be. When they drafted Singletary, I came out and said they just drafted the best running back in the draft. I'm like people I thought were fucking underselling what Singletary was going to be. And he started off his career so hot the first few games, and then I've just watched him fall off this cliff fucking further and further and further, and he just made me look stupider and stupider and stupider. So I'm now at a fuck Devin Singletary in my life.
Yeah, dude. Like, I mean, as far as fantasy, a lot of Bills players have disappointed, except, of course, with Josh Allen. But hey, guys, listen, we are currently 15 minutes over time. I just want to go around the table, let everyone, sort of reintroduce themselves, let them know what they have going on their channels. And we'll start off with Steven. What's good, man?
Hey, guys. I really appreciate you having me on tonight. I really enjoyed this. My first time being on the AFC East Roundtable. All of you guys are great and class acts, and I love what each and every single one of you do. I want you all to know I support y'all's channel, and it's great. You can find me on Miami Sports Music. That's my channel with the Honorable Solo D. And I have my morning show every morning, Clap Blackers, from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you guys check that out. I would love to have all of you on my morning show at some point, especially when we play you guys. Although we're not playing the Bills again. So, Dan, I don't know if I can have you on except when we meet each other in the playoffs in the first round, maybe. That might be when we play y'all again. But, yeah, so I really appreciate everybody coming on and being here. And I want to be back, man. I want to come back and talk trash, man. I enjoyed it.
Beautiful. Richie, what's good, brother?
What's up, everybody? You already know what's good. It's Richie, Jets Media. I unfortunately have to go and make a recap video to my Knicks and get a little rant going because they got a terrible loss tonight. And that's why if you saw a little pout on my face throughout the stream, it wasn't about the Jets, it's about the Knicks tonight. So you guys know where to find me. I got channels all over YouTube. I appreciate all the support. It means a lot. And yeah, let's go Jets and let's go upset the Finns next week somehow.
Let's do it. Ray, it's good, brother.
Yeah, I got a YouTube channel called Talking Football with Ray. You can also find me over on Newsbreak at Ray Route, where I've just been blowing up lately. So I think I found my new niche. Hopefully in a couple weeks, you can find me down here on a radio station out in Canada. I got some shit going on down here, so I'll announce that as soon as that comes out. But find me Ray Route. Follow me on Twitter too, DPN_Ray.
What up, Tyson?
Yeah, I just came here to troll. If you guys want troll content, come to my channel. If you guys want to see how I trolled the Dolphins fans, Bills, you're going to get trolled soon. That's pretty much my content.
I love you, Master Network. You're that guy.
Beautiful. So, Dom Mafia, listen, I'm going to try and get a preview video out tomorrow, worst case scenario at the absolute latest Friday. And then always I will be streaming the Bills game on Sunday. And I'm probably going to be streaming the Pats and so the Jets game as well. Or worst case scenario, I'll just make Richie make me be a guest during a quarter or something like that.
You're more than welcome to hop in, Dan.
Beautiful. I would love that. Yeah. Fuck my stream.
I'll be there at the game. I can call in when we're beating you guys down in the fourth quarter.
Oh, fucking A. All right. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of the AFC East Roundtable.
TD is hosting next week.
TD is hosting next week. TD is hosting next week for everybody.
TD is hosting next week. So, tune in there and subscribe, like this video, to every single one of these people in this video. Subscribe to their channels, and we will see you next week, Wednesday, on TD's channel. Let's go.